Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Dspn. This is the first time we've been here in a few weeks. Now, as you know, the last episode was, we did our own March Madness bracket, which, if you guys have been following along with March Madness, is completely busted.
Hold on. You should move your chair down. Just get on my level here, Buster.
This is as... Oh.
Yeah!
Well, point is, our brackets are busted, and I'm assuming so is yours, right, Mason?
All the brackets are busted for the men's side. I saw yesterday that not all the women's brackets are done.
Really?
But all the men's brackets are finally cooked, so they're offering Sweet 16 give backs, I guess. Just because of how bad people are at predicting college basketball games.
So we're going to start today's episode just like we would for normal episodes back during the NFL, where we would go over all of the games, but we don't have the NFL. So instead, we're going to go over all of the March Madness games that have happened over the past since it happened.
No blowouts, please.
No promises. Well, I'll still state them in case you haven't been following along. Number 1 seeded Auburn beat Alabama State 68. Well, beat them 83-63.
Boring.
Louisville lost to Creighton 75-89.
My main bracket was already busted. The first game of the tournament. I was watching that in the lunchroom. So, thanks, Louisville.
A lot of people picked Louisville.
I don't know why I didn't pick Creighton. Looking back, I was on the fence. Half my brackets I picked Louisville, half I picked Creighton.
I mean,
but I honestly really should have picked them to go far anyways.
I mean, it is really a 50-50 game to pick.
It is. The 8-9s are always the best ones.
In a close game, Michigan beat UC San Diego 68-63.
I had that upset.
You did that?
I did.
It's not like it was a blowout though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
They put up a great fight.
Yeah, they did.
Won Mason's bracket on who's the most menacing mascot.
Yeah, who's got the most intense or who's got the most
dangerous,
scary mascot or whatever. Who would win in a fight? I did have UC San Diego going all the way. Their mascot is Poseidon, so it's kind of hard to beat Poseidon in anything.
And who was on the other side?
Tennessee, the Volunteers, guy with the gun.
They beat Duke, who was a Blue Devil.
Yes.
How?
Shoot him.
You can't shoot the devil.
Yeah, you can.
Texas A&M beat Yale 80-71.
Okay, next.
Ole Miss beat North Carolina 71-64.
Next.
Iowa State destroyed Lipscomb 82-55.
Yep.
Marquette lost to New Mexico 66-75 in an upset game.
I saw that coming.
And Michigan State beat Bryant 87-62.
Okay.
Florida beat Norfolk State 95-69. UConn beat Oklahoma 67-59 in an 8-9 game. Colorado State upset Memphis 78-70.
I did not have that one. I did not have that in my bracket.
No, that was. I think that busted a lot of people's brackets.
I feel like that one kind of came out of left field, honestly. I don't think anyone really saw that coming.
Yeah, that was the only game Corey got wrong in the first round.
Other than Lipscomb.
But
for some reason he picked Lipscomb. Why?
Why? Warren has Iowa State winning it on his bracket. You're shaking your head no for audio listeners.
No.
One of these days we'll have Warren on here. Maryland destroyed Grand Canyon 81-49.
Grand Canyon, they got a bunch. They either have to pick people that actually go to the university or people that go online. So they have to either choose 30-year-olds or 18-year-olds.
It wasn't a good night for them. Drake beat Missouri 67-57. Another upset. A 6-11 game. Texas Tech beat UNC Wilmington 82-72. Kansas lost to Arkansas 79-72.
We had that one, didn't we?
We did have that.
We did have that one.
We did have that.
Yeah.
St. John's beat Omaha 83-53, and that's so that is the left side of the bracket. For the right side, Duke destroyed Mount St. Maurice 93-49, 1-16 game. Baylor upset Mississippi State 75-72 in a 9-8 game.
Yeah, I had Mississippi State.
Yeah, but not very happy.
I don't care.
Oregon destroyed Liberty 81-52 in a 5-12 game.
Okay.
Arizona beat Akron 93-65 in a 4-13 game.
Yep.
BYU beat VCU 80-71 in a 6-11 game.
Next game.
Wisconsin.
I look like a fool now.
Why?
Cause VCU got smoked.
Yeah, because didn't we pick them?
Yeah, we did. I picked them on like all my brackets.
Mason, that's not the smartest decision on your part.
I have them I think I have one bracket where I have Creighton and BYU, but I also have I think that's the one that I have Alabama winning, and they're probably gonna lose anyways.
Yeah, didn't we pick Alabama during the...
Yeah, oh my God!
Why did we do that? Why did we do that?
Oh no! Oh
Why
no!
did we do that?
Oh.
Why did we do that?
Oh my God!
Why did we do that? Mason has his head completely down for our audio listeners. Your hair right now, Mason.
I'm in a duty moment.
Why did we pick Bama?
Blitz by old Blitz.
Rotad. Speaking of Bama.
Rotad!
Speaking of Bama, they beat Robert Morris 90-81, and then St. Mary's beat Vanderbilt 59-56. Houston beat SIU Edwards.
That game was that
78-40.
game. Every single one of the players on Houston needs to be charged with a felony because that was a capital offense of how bad that they beat them. That was insane.
What? I didn't get the chance to watch it, so please.
Dude, in the first half, they were already winning by 20. Yeah, it was less than 10 minutes in, and they were already up by 20.
That was they smoked them then. Gonzaga destroyed Georgia 89-68 in an 8-9 game.
Yeah, I had Gonzaga smoking them.
You thought they were gonna smoke them?
Yeah, I none of my brackets I picked Georgia.
In an upset game, which I picked, but Mason wouldn't let me pick it in our bracket. Just gonna say that. McNeese beat Clemson 69-67.
I also have Clemson going to the Elite Eight in a few of my brackets.
Dude, come on. Come on!
They beat Duke that one time, okay?
They beat Duke once, and now you're sending them to the Elite
Can somebody
Eight?
beat Duke this time, please? I want somebody to beat Duke. Badly.
We'll get to who they get to play next. Purdue beat High Point 75-63.
That game was interesting. That game was good, but it was sad to see High Point lose.
Yeah, everybody was pulling for High Point.
Yeah.
Because they're God knows where university.
Dude, have you seen their campus?
I have not.
Dude, it is like a utopia.
Really?
It is insane.
You gotta show me after you film this.
Yeah.
Xavier lost to Illinois in a 6-11 game, 86-73. Kentucky beat Troy 76-57 in a 3-14. UCLA beat Utah State 72-47. And then Tennessee beat Wofford 77-62.
Alright.
So that was the first round.
A lot of games.
A lot of games. Not as many in the second round. Sorry, folks, if this is a little overbearing. My bad. Duke beat Baylor 89-66 in a game that wasn't even close from the start.
Yeah.
Oregon lost to Arizona 83-87.
Yeah.
BYU beat Wisconsin in a 6-3 3 game, 91-89.
They're gonna beat Bama.
And then St. Mary's lost to Bama 80-66. Houston beat Gonzaga 81-76.
That breaks Gonzaga's 10-year streak of being in the Sweet 16.
Yeah. McNeese sadly lost to Purdue 62-76.
The pure power of Amir Khan was, not enough.
Yeah. Don't clap, because remember we got that hot mic. All right. Also, by the way, for our audio listeners, we finally got an actual microphone.
Yes, we got a great microphone. It's the best microphone. It's the best
Get
microphone
out of here. Get out of here. But we've actually got a microphone. So maybe it's a little crisper, but also there will be more loud noises, so headphone users are bad.
Microphone.
Stop whispering in the microphone. It's not ASMR. This is a sports podcast. Kentucky beat Illinois 84-75.
Okay.
And then Tennessee beat UCLA 58-67. Arkansas beat St. John's 75-66.
Arkansas's on a roll. Calipari versus Patino didn't disappoint.
Yeah, that. Drake lost to Texas Tech 77-64.
Rip.
In what a crazy ending. Colorado State lost to Maryland 72-71 with a buzzer beater.
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for Colorado State.
I do, but that buzzer beater was freaking awesome.
It was, but you gotta feel bad for Colorado State.
It was a great game though. Florida narrowly beat UConn 77-75.
Dan Hurley with a crash out after the game.
What did he do? I didn't get to see.
He was just in the tunnel. He's like, well, "Good luck, Baylor. I hope they didn't do to you guys they did to us. Man, these refs are terrible." It was basically like that. He's like, "Good luck, Baylor. They're gonna do the same thing to you."
Did they?
No. Baylor just got walloped as soon as they stepped on the court.
New Mexico lost to Michigan State 63-71.
Well, there goes Josh's New Mexico to the Final Four.
And here goes Warren's bracket as Ole Miss beat Iowa State 91-78.
That killed the final bracket.
That was the one that killed the final bracket?
Or was it
Or was it this next game where it was Michigan versus Texas A&M where Michigan beat Texas A&M 91-79?
Nope.
And then Auburn beat Creighton 82-70.
Okay.
And now into our Sweet 16 predictions. Me and Mason will go through these, and we'll give our thoughts on the matter. Auburn plays Michigan.
Auburn.
I don't think this game will be crazy close.
I think it'll be close.
I'm saying I don't think it'll come down to the wire.
I don't think it will, but I think it'll still be close enough where they have to foul at the end.
I think it'll be. I'm gonna give Auburn a 5-point win.
Give me 6.
Make it a 5. Ole Miss plays Michigan State.
4th.
Honestly, I might give this to Ole Miss. They've been on a roll lately. Michigan State has been also on a roll, but Ole Miss killed Carolina and then proceeded to kill the 3 seed.
I've been seeing a lot of Michigan State glazing, and I'm all aboard the hype train right now. So.
You are. I can tell by the colors you're wearing,
even
though it's all Eagle stuff. But go Birds. Florida plays Maryland, which in a game that Florida will wallop Maryland.
No. This game will be close. This game will be very close, and I wouldn't be surprised if Maryland wins. But I got Florida.
All right. I disagree. Texas Tech plays Arkansas, which in a game that I think Arkansas might
win. Give me the Hogs.
I think I'm gonna take the Hogs.
They've got that Cinderella kind of mentality right now when we have no mid-major team that's gonna be a Cinderella. So I guess it's got to be Arkansas.
At this point, it's got to be Arkansas. If it's not Arkansas, then I guess you'd have to give it to BYU or Ole Miss that are.
There's no mid-major team in there, so this is kind of disappointing.
Yeah. Kentucky plays Tennessee in a game that I think it'll be extremely close.
Yeah, I think it will. Who do you think? Who do you got?
I'm going to give this to the Vols.
Yeah, I'll take Tennessee.
I think it'll be it will be a close game. I think it'll be a one possession game.
You know what? This is my buzzer beater.
This is your buzzer beater.
I think that we're gonna have a buzzer beater.
Okay, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. Houston plays Purdue.
Houston.
Mollywop, close.
I got Houston by like 30.
So you're saying they're just gonna kill them?
They're just gonna go out there and destroy them.
Yeah, I would agree. Purdue hasn't. It's not like Purdue's been struggling, but at the same time, Houston's just been killing people. However, it wasn't a bad It's not like they were killed Gonzaga by any means.
Well, yeah, but I feel like Houston is gonna dismantle them next.
BYU plays Bama.
Bama's looked shaky in their first 2 games. They have definitely looked vulnerable, and I feel like this is gonna be the end.
Yeah, they struggled to beat Robert Morris. They bounced back against St. Mary's, though.
But it was close. It was really close. At times, it was close.
And then BYU has beat VCU, and then also beat 3-seeded Wisconsin.
Yeah, so they're on a roll.
I would probably give this to BYU as well. And then Duke plays Arizona. Give me Duke.
I'm rooting for Arizona, but give me Duke.
I don't know if this game will be crazy close. I don't think it'll be like a blowout, but I don't think it'll be.
I think it'll be within 10.
So that is it for our March Madness.
Really quick though, as we stay on the topic of basketball, I don't know if this is on the topics, but St. Francis University, they made the tournament this year. They lost in a heartbreaker, and they're moving not just conferences, but they're moving divisions. They're going from D1 to D3. They're going to play Division III basketball.
Because this was because they didn't want to be part of the NIL stuff and they just couldn't compete with it. And they think that it is ruining college sports, which, to be honest with you, I agree with to some degree. I think it's really changing how it's played and how it's dealt with in not a positive way.
Yeah. And,
it's turning it into how soccer does their moves, where you just throw a bunch of money at the wall and then you get the best players.
Yeah. And I feel like the thing about, a college like that is they're located, right between Pittsburgh and State College, where Penn State is. And that's basically Alabama, if you didn't know. So, they're in the middle of nowhere. They aren't a huge school and haven't had too much Division I success, and now the NIL is kind of, bringing an end to their time in D1, but I think it's crazy that they're going to Division III. I would expect them to go to Division II, but they're going to Division III. But this is kind of also what sucks about college basketball, and what makes it different from football, is because football you have FBS and FCS, is that teams can drop from FBS to FCS and still be decent, and teams can go up as well. But in basketball, you're forced to drop divisions. So it kind of sucks. And considering that they made the tournament this year, they probably had half their team transfer, probably even more, and didn't have enough recruits to fill the roster this year. So they just got to drop it.
It's really a sad thing to see, and NIL is I feel like there's gonna be a lot more of those to come with NIL.
All right.
There's gonna be more.
No, my yap session's over. Next thing.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to football because we only really have a couple of things to talk about this week. Not a lot of things have happened in sports other than the March Madness tournament. But as of last night, recording this, Russell Wilson is a giant, a 1-year, $10 million deal that me and Mason can both say, not a very good idea. Mason, audio listeners love you to death.
It's Russell Wilson. He's 85 years old, and he's clearly washed, and he was not the best quarterback in Pittsburgh last year.
And you can't tell me the rotting, decaying corpse of Russell Wilson is leaps and bounds better than Daniel Jones.
But at least they didn't get Aaron Rodgers. They sadly, for me as an Eagles fan, they sadly do not get Aaron Rodgers.
So that pretty much confirms the fact that he's going to be a Steeler, right? What are you doing? What was this?
I'm like a Lego guy.
Oh.
I was watching like Lego movie clips. It's so funny.
But we'd have to say that at this point, Aaron Rodgers is pretty much a Steeler, right?
Yeah, he spent way too much time at the facility to just go, nah, I'm moving to Peru. So, all right, next time.
But they signed Jameis also. It's not like Jameis might be better than Russell Wilson right now. I'm not even gonna lie.
I don't think Crab Legs is that much better than Russell Wilson.
Is he?
No.
I mean,
he's funny.
I saw a meme on Twitter that said they should draft Travis Hunter so he could catch Jameis's footballs on both sides of the ball. Next up, Stephon Diggs is going to the Patriots for a 3-year, $69 million max deal.
That's way too much for Stephon Diggs. He's just coming off a major injury, and he's got to play. The funny thing is, though, is that he's got to play Buffalo twice a year, and pretty much everyone that I know that likes Bills is not a Stephon Diggs kind of person. So
yeah,
this will be interesting.
I'm excited to see Drake May. I think Drake May could be good in the future.
Yeah, he's finally got a decent target. But the only problem is that his offensive line is basically just like a gate.
Well, maybe that's what they're probably planning to draft some.
Their draft pick is too high to draft an offensive lineman.
So where do you think they go with?
I don't know, probably some dude.
You think they try to draft like Shadur or not Shadur?
I think they'll draft Abdul
Travis
Carter.
Hunter.
I think they'll draft Abdul Carter.
What's their pick this year?
If he falls, I think it's 6 around there. They should have the 1 pick, but they decided to beat Buffalo in the last game of the season.
Do you think Abdul Carter still gets drafted in the top 5?
I think he'll slide because he had that shoulder. I think it was a shoulder surgery.
It was a little shoulder thingy, yeah.
So I think he'll slide a little bit. But I feel like he is a number 1 overall pick type prospect.
I really want to know where I think Ashton Janty's going to end up.
He'll slide to 14, 15, around there.
Where do you think what's a great landing spot for him in your opinion?
He'll go to Dallas.
As much as it pains.
He'll go to Dallas. But, it doesn't matter. Who's going to block for him?
Yeah, not many people now that...
Yeah. They've got frickin', Joe Smith, just a random guy.
And now, I know that, for our audio listeners, Mason's dripped out in all Eagles stuff right now. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to talk to Mason about how the Eagles signed almost nobody and lost half their team.
Hold on. They signed a long snapper. They did.
Whoop-de-doo. They signed a long snapper.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And Zach Bond.
They re-signed Zach Bond, but I'm saying they lost half their team.
They signed well, they're only new. Actually, no. None of their new signings even matter. They're all probably going to get cut by week 5, so it's fine.
But they lost.
It doesn't matter. We just won the Super Bowl. Next thing.
You don't have any thoughts?
Nope, we just won the Super Bowl.
Okay. And last but not least, before we get into our player game bum of the last 2 weeks, the MLB will be back the night that this podcast comes out. So Mason, what teams are you looking at as you're way too early? This team's going to be very, very good this year.
If they stay healthy, then the Yankees. The Dodgers are looking good. I would have said that the Diamondbacks were really making a push to win the NL West, but Jordan Montgomery just got diagnosed, and he's undergoing Tommy John surgery, so that's not good. Same thing with the Yankees with Garrett Cole being
that's
out
a huge
for the
blow
season.
for them.
But Ohtani's coming back to pitch for the Dodgers, which is obviously pretty big. And
Because he's Shohei.
yeah, and not the A's, not the A's in their minor league ballpark. Same thing with the Rays in their minor league ballpark. So the Rays and the Athletics are both playing in minor league places.
And last but not least, our player, game, and bum of the last 2 weeks. So Mason, would you like to go with your player? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I want to give it to the guy who had that buzzer beater for Maryland. I don't remember what his name was, but he was killing it. And the kid's a freshman too, which means I think he'll be around for a while.
Give me my player of the week. I mean, not really a player, and they did lose, but I don't care. It's Amir Khan. I can't just not bring up the fact that he exists.
And then Mason, your game of the last 2 weeks.
Game of the week. I might have to go with probably the Maryland game. The Maryland game was really good.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
That was a great game to watch. We watched the ending. I know I did. I don't know if you got to watch the ending.
I didn't watch the ending, sadly.
It was a great ending to that game. Like there was a game that, like there was a shot that could have sealed it, a 3-pointer. Then guy goes down there, hits a buzzer beater, game over. And last but not least, our bums of the last 2 weeks. Mason,
my bum is the person for the Tampa Bay Rays that came up with their new item for like concessions. You know what it is? Cold cuts in like a cup. It is
what?
Deli meat in a cup. So
Why?
Like one of those like plastic cups you get like a $50 stadium beer.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of ham in there. Imagine sitting outside in a minor league ballpark that has Yankees logos all over it while watching your favorite team, the Rays, get blown out by 50, or just getting blown out in 105-degree summer heat while eating ham out of a cup.
Ugh.
That sounds like purgatory.
That ham is gonna be like moldy and stuff by the end of that game.
It's gonna be soggy, warm ham. That's disgusting.
I don't want to go. I would not want to be anywhere near that. Ever.
Just relocate to Montreal.
Yeah.
Please do it.
My bum is going to be, I'm going to say, the guy responsible for putting that Russell Wilson deal together for the Giants, because that was a really stupid idea. Granted, wasn't much out there for options.
That's true.
But you could have kept Jameis. I love Jameis with all my heart. He's the funniest guy in the league. Nobody can tell me any different. But that is going to be the end of today's episode. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Comment down below. We will be back next week with more March Madness stuff. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Go Phillies.
Oh,
I missed.
You missed.
This is like the second week in a row I've done it.